Hi guys, it's Jenn at Hello Rigby, and today I'm going to be sharing a natural beauty makeup look. If you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. So lately I have been using a lot of natural beauty products. I've been doing kind of an everyday makeup routine with that for the past month or so, just because it's been super easy and just, I've kind of liked less eyeshadow. I know we're going into the holidays where there's going to be a lot of occasions to dress up, and so on my everyday kind of day-to-day routine, I've been really liking just a little bit less makeup. So I thought I would share with you what I've been putting on my face when I go to work in the morning. Alright, so I'm going to be using a lot of Juice Beauty products. They were nice enough to send me a box full of goodies, and it just so happened they accidentally sent me a second box of goodies, so I asked them if it would be okay if I did a giveaway with those, and they said yes. So there is going to be a giveaway for all of the products I'm using in this video that are Juice Beauty. I'll mention them as we go along so you know what exactly you'll be winning. I have thrown a few of my own personal Juice Beauty products in here as well, so there's no confusion. I'll put all of the information in the description box about what you can win and how to enter. So the first thing I'm going to be using is the Hydrating Mist from Juice Beauty, and this is one of my personal products. I spritz this all over my face as soon as I get up in the morning after I've cleansed my face. I usually just do a really light cleansing since I do have dry skin. I try to not over dry my skin if at all possible. It's just like a really nice hydrating toner mist. Just feels really lightweight but nice on the skin, especially when I wake up with like my skin feeling super dry and tight. It's just a really nice way to like make my skin feel alive again. And then after that, I usually will put a little bit of the anti-wrinkle booster serum onto my face. This is a great product. It is in this kind of cool looking container, very fancy schmancy, but it works really well, and I just really like the anti-wrinkle line. I also use at night the Cellular anti-wrinkle moisturizer. I especially focus this on areas where I have wrinkles forming. Unfortunately, if you haven't noticed, I'm very expressive when I talk. I move my eyebrows a lot, which means that I have some fine lines on my forehead that I'm not super crazy about. So I'm all about that anti-wrinkle right now. And if you're a little bit younger than me, I know some of my viewers are a little bit younger, you don't necessarily have to worry about wrinkles right away, but when you get into your later 20s, you will probably start noticing some fine lines that weren't there when you were a little bit younger. So while you may not need wrinkle care yet, I would definitely add it to your routine starting in your mid-20s, because I did not, and I kind of regret it, but at the same time, you know, it is just a fact of life. Wrinkles are what they are. So after I've smoothed that into my skin, I'm just going to put on a little bit of a moisturizer on my lips. I really like this Milani Moisture Lock. I don't know if you guys have tried these yet, but this is my second one. I first bought the Primrose, and then this is the Coconut one, and it just makes my lips feel so nice, and it smells really good. It's almond coconut. So I'll put that on just to prep my lips, and I'll later be putting on a lip color. Alright, and after I put a little bit of the serum on, I've got my face hydrated, I'm going to add some of the Illuminating Primer. This is awesome. I really like this product. If you're familiar with the Becca Backlight Primer, I would say this is pretty similar. However, I think I like this one a little bit more because it's not quite as illuminating. I felt like the Becca one made my face look almost a little bit too like shimmery. And this one is just really natural, and I also like that it feels like another layer of hydration on my face. It feels kind of like a moisturizer. It is a little bit thinner than a moisturizer, but it definitely has the feeling that it's like doing something to your skin besides just adding like an illumination. And you could definitely see like that glowiness. It's really like obvious on camera now that I'm looking, but it's okay because we're going to be putting on makeup over the top of this. The next product that I'm going to be using is the Cellular CC Cream. This is a really nice natural makeup. It is in Natural Glow. This says it's a 12-in-1 multitasking CC cream, which is a color correcting cream if you didn't know what that stood for. And it's supposed to deliver the ultimate in age-defying skin perfecting results. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit onto my palm. I usually use about that much for my full face. And then I just put it on with a dampened beauty sponge. This one is from Pure Cosmetics. You can use whichever one you'd like. Now, a couple things I've noticed about the CC cream. First of all, it is a light coverage. I would say it's light buildable coverage, but I wouldn't plan on building it up too much, because I do notice that it does, if you build it up too much, it'll sometimes pull off the layers that you've put underneath your face. So if you put primer and moisturizer, it'll kind of start coming up. So I typically use one layer. And then the other thing I've noticed with this is I should never put it under my under eye area, because it does tend to move my under eye concealer. So I avoid the under eye area with that product, and then I put in a concealer on its own. So this is the Pacifica Transcendent Concealer that I'm going to be using. So I'm sticking with all natural beauty products in this routine. And then I'm just going to put some under eye concealer on here, and then I also have a couple of little nasty friends on my chin, because you know it's that time of the month, real talk. So I'm going to cover those up as well. And this is in the color Light. I believe this is the lightest concealer that Pacifica makes. It is a little bit darker than I personally prefer, but it's not terrible. I do like the coverage of this product, so that is why I continue to use it, even though maybe not as light as I would prefer. And now we have our base on, so I'm going to jump into the rest of my face makeup. So next I'm going to go in with this Pacifica Sheer Golden Glow Golden Lotus highlighting powder. I find that this doesn't really do a crazy amount of highlights, so I think it actually works really well as an under eye setting powder. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of this along my under eyes to set the concealer that I just put down. And then I'm also going to run this along the high points of my face, focusing on my T-zone, since that is where I tend to get a little bit oily, and then setting the concealer that I put on my chin as well. Just very lightly. You don't need a ton of the powder, just a little bit. And then the next product I'm going to be using is the Juice Beauty Last Looks Blush. This is an 04 Flush. It is a really pretty nude color that I really like. And how I apply this is I usually just put a little bit on my finger. I kind of dot it along my cheeks where I want the color, and then I'll blend it in with a brush or a sponge. Totally up to you. I think I'm going to use my sponge today. I'm just going to use the round end since I was using this for foundation. And I'm just gonna gently dot that in. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I think the sponge might be a little too wet. Focus a little bit more on my cheeks here. There we go, that looks better. And then after I've added my blush, I'm going to go in with some eyeshadows. This is the Pacifica, what is this? Natural Mineral Eyeshadows. It doesn't say what color it is on the packaging, so I'll put that in the description box if you want to know what colors these are. So on a fluffy eyeshadow brush, I'm going to take this pretty like kind of light brown color, and I'm going to put that in my crease. And again, this is just very simple everyday eye makeup, so I honestly don't wear a ton of eye makeup on an everyday kind of basis to work. I just kind of like to add a little bit of color and a little bit of shimmer to my eyes so that they kind of pop, but not a lot of like crazy winged liner, anything like that. So I work in tech in Seattle. I work downtown, and I really like the environment I work in because it's very casual, so there's no big expectations. And if I had to, you know, if I felt the need to wear like really heavy makeup or something like that, I don't think anyone would really care. But at the same time, nobody that I like in my office building wears a lot of makeup to work. And then I'm going to take the lighter pink shade on the same fluffy brush, and I'm just going to dot that onto my lid just to brighten the eye area. So nobody really wears like super, you know, professional clothing or like crazy makeup or anything like that. So I really just don't find the need to go really crazy with my eye makeup. I tend to save that for events and hang out with friends and that sort of thing. So go pretty simple for an everyday kind of look. And then the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this light gray shade, kind of purpley gray, and I'm going to put that on the outer V just to add a little bit of depth to this eyeshadow look. Okay, I'm not super happy with the way that came out of that gray color, so I'm gonna go in with the Pacifica Natural Minerals. This is the Solar Kit, and this has some more like brown, like darker brown shades, which is really what I would prefer and what I tend to wear when I go to work. I don't really wear a lot of gray. So I'm gonna go in with the bronzy shade, and I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, that's better. like that better. I'm gonna do that in the outer V. Do the same thing on the side. And on the V. All right, and now I'm gonna take that champagne color again from this palette here, and I'm gonna put that on my lid kind of in the center now that I've darkened it up a little bit with more bronzy shades. So I'm just gonna dot a little bit of that on the lid, and I tend to just go for these kind of bronzy shades when I'm going to work because they just make my eyes pop. I like the look of like bronzy browns with blue eyes. I think it's really pretty. All right, so now that I've gotten kind of all the shadows in place, I'm just gonna blend everything in a little bit so there's no harsh lines anywhere on my eyes. I'm also just gonna brush off the shadow that kind of fell out from under my eyes, and since I already powdered, it makes it really easy to brush it away. It just kind of fluffs right off, which is really convenient. Okay, and then I'm going to take on a smudger brush. So on the other end of that brush I was using before, I'm just gonna take that bronzy shade here and maybe a little bit of the darker brown kind of mixed, and then I'm gonna blend it along my lower lash line. And then I'm just gonna pop a little bit of this color here along the inner corner and lower third of my lash line. And then the final thing I'm going to do is just take a small amount of the dark brown shade here. I'm gonna put that on a Morphe G27, and I'm just going to dot it kind of along my lashes to give it kind of a liner, smoky look. I want to make it really subtle. I'm not trying to like make it really look like a liner. I'm just trying to deepen it up just a little bit to give the eye a little bit more definition. And honestly, in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, I do not take this long to do my eye makeup, but you know what? When you're in front of the camera, at least I worry way more about it looking just so, and so I spend way more time when I'm getting ready on camera. But that's okay. That's just what it is. And then with my like big fluffy blending brush, I'm just gonna dust away any excess fallout or shadow. I feel like this brush is just really easy to do that with. So the next thing I'm going to do for the eyes is add some mascara. So this is the first time that I'm using the Juice Beauty mascara. This is called the Phyto Pigments Ultra Natural Mascara. It is in 01 Black, and it is in a nice, the wand looks really cool. It's kind of a twisted design here, really nice and long, which is good. And we'll see how it works. So this is a very like subtle mascara, definitely not as like volumizing as I would prefer, but it does coat the lashes really nicely, and it doesn't make them clumpy or sticky, and it really makes them darker, which I do like. So it's definitely more of a natural everyday look mascara, so perfect for this look. But if you're expecting something that's super in your face or will serve as like something that is a substitute for false lashes, this probably isn't going to be your mascara. And then I'm going to fill in my brows. I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics Brow Power. This is a universal eyebrow pencil. It's supposed to be good for pretty much any eyebrow shade, which I think is a little crazy, but it works really good for me, so I'm down with it. And then I'm just going to blend out the excess product with the spoolie. And then once I've got that product in place, then I'm going to go in with the Milani Easy Brow Tinted Fiber Gel. I find that this is more of a just setting product for me. There's not enough pigment to make my eyebrows really stand out, and so I just use it to set the product, my brow product of choice. Typically a pencil, I find them easier to use. And then once I've set my brows, then the final thing I'm going to do is just fill in my lips. So I'm going to use the Juice Beauty Voluminous Lip Crayon. This is in the color 08 Venice. And then I also have a This is it from my personal collection, Juice Beauty lip gloss. This is in Guava, so I'm just gonna dot a little bit of this into my lips as well. So that is it for my natural beauty everyday makeup look. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these products in action and seeing how my makeup kind of looks for, you know, everyday wear to work type of situation. I really enjoyed filming this video for you, and again, if you want to win some goodies from Juice Beauty, be sure to check the description box down below to find out how to enter and win. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below to catch more videos. I will see you in my next one. Bye!